Hey, good morning. Happy Saturday, y'all. So I got a little time before I start doing my what I'm doing this morning. So I just wanted to come on here just to say a couple things. This is gonna be real brief. Um, Nevertheless important. A lot of times I say girls in particular, women I should say, we form bonds with people and those people know how you feel about them, right? And a lot of times, the people that we care about the most disappoint us the most. Why is that? I don't even know. You know, a lot of times, the people that we love the most, we trust the most, we look up to the most, we favor them the most, like we just do the most about that person. Those people tend to deliver the hardest punches, the achiest heart aches, the saddest moments, the heaviest tears, the just everything disappointing they will deliver. And some of that is just that it's human nature to, disappoint the people that love you. The other part of that is that sometimes people take advantage of your emotions. People just take advantage of the fact that you care about them, you love them in a certain way, you have esteem them with the highest regards. They know that, so they feel that that gives them a up on you, and emotionally it does. So that's why you always have to guard your heart, like the Bible tells you to do so. But sometimes with certain people, we tend to drop those guards. Sometimes we just feel safe to do it. It may be a relative or, a best friend or something that you just feel like wholeheartedly you can really trust them. So you can drop your guards with them. And then boom, before you know it, here it come. The disappointment, the backstab, the dishonesty, the low key hating, the just you name it, they can deliver it, and sometimes it hurts so bad because we didn't see it coming from that person. We had all the guards up with other people to protect that from happening, but with the people that we never expected it to come from, we didn't have our guards up, so it hurt even more when it came from them. So what do you know because when a certain level of disappointment and hurt comes from certain people, it not only affects your relationship with them, but it in turn affects your relationship with other people. Because now you start feeling like, if they did this to me, well, who can I trust? Who can I love? If this person who I've done all these little dirty little things with, if they would turn on me, or if this person who, man, I done fought fights with these people or about these people, I've got in big fights, big arguments with other people on the strength of defending them and their character. If they would do this to me, then who can I trust? Who can I love on? So that's just something that, I don't know if everyone experiences that or if certain people experience that. If you're fortunate enough to have never been, slighted by someone that you love or respected, hey, hats off to you. Maybe your time just hasn't came yet, because I think the reality is that at some point we all get hurt by people that we love. So do you stop loving them after that? Do you stop loving them as much? Do you stop loving all people? in that way, like, do you never give that level of love or respect to anyone else because one particular person has, disappointed you in that way? In all honesty, I think it comes down to it's going to be a combination of a little bit of all of that. Because sometimes once you love at a certain level, it's hard to get back to loving somebody else at that certain level, right? And I think a part of that is because everybody's so different and everybody brings different things to the table. So you love this person in that way, right? And they disappointed you, they hurted you or whatever. So you meet somebody else. And even though you have a huge level of love for them, they're bringing different things to the table. And so you may not love them in the same way. And in some areas, you may love them a little more. And in other areas that you love the other person, you may love them a little less. Then sometimes people make the mistake of never fully doing the work to get over that situation. So they're never able to trust and love at that same level again because they did not do the work to get beyond that situation that hurt or betrayed them. So you may forever walk around with a certain scar or holding certain baggage because you didn't do the work to heal and to get some resolve about that situation. And then sometimes your wisdom just kicks in and say, hey, listen, I never want to feel like that again. So it's just some things I'm not going to be doing the next go round. It's just some ways I'm not going to allow myself to feel. Sometimes you can overly invest in people. That's a real thing. And by overly invest, I mean overly love them, overly sex them, overly give to them, overly do things for them. And I think that's in every area of people's life. They can overly do it when it comes to people. When it comes to their kids, they can overly do it. When it comes to their parents, they can overly do it. When it comes to their best friend, their old man, their old lady, their grandparents, you can overly invest in people. And sometimes that's the thing that brings the most disappointment when you have overly invested. It's one thing to love and to trust. It's another thing to be like, oh, they'll never, or just put them over everybody in the world. It's another thing to do that. And I believe that when you do that, that's when you make yourself more susceptible to being hurt and devastated in that way. When you overly invest or you overly trust or you overly, you have just put them over and beyond everybody else in your life, I think that's when you run the risk of the most hurt and the most disappointment. So with that said, I just think that it's important to, be mindful. Too much of anything is never good for you, right? So I think it's just important to be mindful how you're loving, who you're loving. Be mindful of doing, once you've been disappointed or hurt in a certain way, that you do the work to get beyond the situation so that you don't carry that into your next situations and that you are able to love. Maybe you don't need to love as much because you overdid it that time, but you need to find a way to develop a safe space where you can love. Hey, this is my safe space. Maybe my safe space is not 10. Maybe my safe space is around 7. Right. And that's a safe space for me because should you violate me and I'm at a 7, I can keep it cool. Right. But should you violate me again and I'm at a 10, listen, I'm going to jail. You feel me? So when you get to those certain levels where if they try you or whatever, you're going to act a certain way, then that's a number one sign that you are chances are you may be overly invested. Right? That I just love hard. You just do too much. That's what that is, And a lot of times women, after the relationship is done and over, we look back and we see where we went wrong. Like we did too much. We loved too hard. You know what I'm saying? We was doing too much, especially not to be committed, not to be in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course you hurt. Of course, yes. Cause you were given all the extra benefits, and now you're devastated. You know, so it's understandable how we get though to that level of disappointments, especially in relationships. And then, like I said, maybe with parents and stuff like that, you may esteem one parent over another one. You know, so don't be surprised when that is the parent that disappoints you later on in life, right? Even with siblings, you may have one sibling that was your person, you know, and then boom, that's the one that deliver you the most disrespect later on in life or whatever, you know. So you have to be careful where you place people at in your life, and how much you give of your emotion to them. You know, you just have to be mindful and wise about that. So I'm gonna leave you with that.